Hello, sixth graders. Welcome to Solving Inequalities Using Addition or Subtraction. Pause while you write the lesson title in your math notebook. Pause again while you write today's lesson objective in your math notebook. Today's objective is, I can use the properties of inequality to solve inequalities by completing practice problems with 100% accuracy in multiple attempts. Here are the two standards we'll be addressing today. Solve an equation or inequality to choose or create a set of values that make the equation or inequality true. And create, solve, and graph inequalities to represent constraints in a real-world problem. There are two key ideas here on this slide. Let's pay attention to both of these. They're very important. Addition property of inequality. When you add the same number to each side of an inequality, the inequality remains true. So in numbers, it looks like this. 3 is less than 5. So if we add 2 to both sides, 3 plus 2 is 5. And we add 5 plus 2, and that equals 7. So 5 is also less than 7. In algebra, it looks like this, x minus 4. So we might want to add a 4 to both sides because we want that x by itself. So we would add 4 to both sides, and that would, we would have minus 4 plus 4 equals 0. So that would leave an x on the left, and 5 plus 4 equals 9. So our solution to that would be x is greater than 9, and we can graph it, and it looks like so. Subtraction property of inequality works exactly the same way. When you subtract the same number from each side of an inequality, the inequality remains 2. So here we have subtracting 2 from each side. So 3 minus 2 is 1, and 5 minus 2 is 3. And we have x plus 4, and we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. So we end up with x on the left, and 5 minus 4 is 1 on the right. So x is greater than 1. And it says at the bottom, these properties are also true for less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. So let's look at example 1, solving an inequality using addition. So we have x minus 3 is greater than 1, and we're going to graph the solution. So this is a minus 3 or a negative 3. So a number always has the sign that is in front of it. So this is a negative 3, if you can start thinking about it that way. So we have a negative 3 and a positive 3. And if you have a negative and a positive of the same value, they cancel each other out and they become 0. So positive 3 minus 3 equals 0. And that leaves us with an x on the left. And then if we add 3 to one side, we have to add 3 to the other because of our addition property of inequality. So 3 plus 1 equals 4. So our solution, remember your sign stays the same, is x is greater than 4. When we graph that, we use an open circle because we had a greater than sign, not a greater than or equal to sign. And our variable is on the left, so we can look at the sign. It is pointing to the right, just like the arrow. And so we point our arrow to the right. Example 2, we're going to solve an inequality using subtraction. So this time we have 15 is greater than or equal to 6 plus x. So we write the inequality, and we have to look at what we're going to be adding or subtracting. So this is a positive 6. There's no sign in front of it, so we want to subtract 6 from both sides. So 6 minus 6 is 0, which leaves us with an x on the right, and 15 minus 6 is 9. So here we have a situation where our variable is not on the left, it is on the right. So we can flip it around. So it says the inequality x is less than or equal to 9 is the same as 9 is greater than or equal to x. So when you flip it around, you have to be very careful and flip your sign. So here's what I do. I take my x and I take my 9. Those are my numbers. And then I look at my sign and I go, oh, the pointy part of the sign is facing the x. So I need to make sure that the pointy part of the sign is still facing the x when I rewrite it. So my solution is x is less than or equal to 9, and that makes it much easier to graph. And then we want to use a closed circle because it has that equal sign underneath it. And we can look at this, and it's pointing the same direction as the end of our number line, and that's the direction we go. Example 3 is our real-life application. A flea market advertises that it has more than 250 vending booths. Of these, 184 are currently filled. Write and solve an inequality to represent the number of vending booths still available. So the number of booths filled plus the number of remaining booths is greater than the total number of booths. So I'm actually going to start, well, let's look at the variable. It says let B be the number of remaining booths. So it says 184 are currently filled, so that goes down here, plus however many are left, which is what we're looking for, so that's B, and we know that that's greater than 250. So it says write the inequality, so we just did that, 184 plus B is greater than 250. So we're going to subtract 184 from both sides because we want that B by itself, and 250 minus 84 is 66. 184 minus 184 is 0, so that leaves us a B on the left. So we have B is greater than 66. So more than 66 vending booths are still available. Here's what you need to do next to finish this lesson. You need to be sure your notes are complete in your ISN, complete your Google Form questions, review your lesson if you need to, and complete your Big Ideas math assignment in your Math Spiral notebook. Be sure you submit that when it is 100% correct, not before, and track your progress on your playlist.